Hey everybody, Terry Daniel, voice actor and coach from Minneapolis. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Happy holidays to you and your family. Yes, I've got the festive Gopher Santa hat. Believe me, since we're in a pandemic, you don't want to see what my hair looks like. Right now, I look like Allie Fox. Anybody remember who that was? Harrison Ford? The Mosquito Coast? Yeah, looks a little bit like like his hair. Quoting that movie also kind of dates me a little bit, but hey, since we're getting to the end of the year, I thought I would put together some tips for not only full-time voice actors. There's a few of them in there for you, but this will be mostly for new talents who have been maybe sitting on the fence thinking about getting into voiceovers for quite some time. I'm going to put these up on the screen, but I need to cheat a little bit and put my cheaters on so I can read all 10 of these tips. The first one here is to always be improving. Very important. Whether you're brand new or you're a veteran voice actor, there's no such thing as Captain Voiceover where you're the ultimate voice talent and that you've reached the top of the mountain and you just can't get any better because you're so good. No, that's not the case. You can never stop learning and getting better. As a matter of fact, coaches get coaching. The coaching should really never stop. Two, and especially if you're brand new here, work with a coach on your reads, your demos, and marketing. You never want to try to do this yourself. Don't just buy like a $30 USB mic, plug it into your laptop or iPad, and then declare to the universe that you're a professional voice actor. Just like any business, any new profession, you need the skills. You have to hire a mentor, a coach, and learn how to read these scripts and learn how the voiceover business works. And again, I mentioned even coaches get coaching. The learning never stops. Number 3, are your demos a few years old now? And this tip is really more for people that have been in the business for a while. If they're a few years old now, the chances are the music could be a bit outdated. The copy could be a little bit outdated. And you know what? If they're not getting you a lot of work, it might be time to go back to the drawing board and come up with not only some new content. We write original content for our demos at Universal Voice Talent Coaching. But that doesn't mean that, that content is going to be fresh 4 years from now. But that said, if they're older, but you're still booking off of them, I don't see really any reason that you need to update your demos. Let's go to number 4. And this is a great marketing tip for anybody who has professional demos and they're ready to start marketing. Or maybe you've been in the business for a while, but you need a little marketing boost. I would recommend contacting 10 new clients every week. It's important to keep that funnel active. Whether it be cold call or email, maybe call a few talent agents, potential VO buyers at corporations. Yes, corporations have in-house studios. That's a great place to cold call. One of the biggest gigs I've ever booked comes from General Mills, a big corporation about a mile from here. It started with a couple of phone calls, and I ended up doing a flurry of e-learning modules for General Mills. Unfortunately, it wasn't a national Cheerios commercial, but I'll take the work, right? 'Tis the season to take care of your voice. This goes to number 5 here. It means taking care of your body, eating healthy, staying hydrated is always good for your voice, not only during the holiday season or when it starts to get cold like it does here in the Midwest, but this is something that you always want to be doing. Definitely take care of yourself. Number 6. Get your completed projects to your clients on time, or better yet, before they're due. Clients love it. Let's say they give us a deadline of Thursday, 3 o'clock to get our project to them. Turn it in by Wednesday. It's a great way to over-deliver to your client. It's a good way to build up rapport. Make sure that you have this client for life. Because think about it. They'll get a jump start on putting the project together on their end. And if you come in a day early, that only helps your client. Don't call them up at the last minute on the due date and ask them for more time. You're putting them in a pretty precarious position because they might be working with their client and they might have their own deadlines that they have to adhere to. So don't put yourself and the client in a bad spot. It draws a red flag, and that might be the last gig that you ever do with this client. So I understand, we've got family emergencies, medical stuff that comes up, but especially if they give you a week to get it done, and it's like a 5-page e-learning assignment, there's no reason why that should take you more than like a day or two. A week is pretty good. It's a pretty good amount of time for to turn that type of project around. So always get your stuff in on time. And again, a good way to over-deliver, come in a day or two before the deadline. They will love you forever, I promise. All right, number 7. Don't get obsessive with producers or agents after submitting your demos for representation. Patience is a virtue, and you don't want to start off on the wrong foot. If they like your demo and determine that you're a good fit for their agency, guess who they're going to call? You. So I know it's hard. Once you get your demos, you're excited. You're trying to get them out there as fast as you can. But you really do have to be patient because, a lot of them, it could take weeks or months. If it's a talent agent, it might take months before they call you back. I'm not saying don't follow up, but don't nobody likes a pest, and don't do it like a day or two later. That's way too soon. And again, we want to avoid throwing those red flags. And if a talent agent thinks that you're going to be too much of a pest, during the demo submission review process, they might think that if they add you to their roster and they send you a bunch of auditions, are you going to bug them 2 hours later, wondering if they had a chance to listen to them or if they had a chance to get them off to the client? So just be very patient, especially on the talent agency side of the business. Number 8, not everybody's a morning person. I get it. And I know that people have day jobs, and that's fine too. But I like to get up early. I get up at about 5:30 in the morning. That might be way too early for some of you, but treat your voiceover business like an 8 to 5 office job. That's what I do. If you're already working from home on a different job and you're just getting into voiceovers, I like the 8 to 5 rule. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't be successful if you do voiceovers at night or even in the middle of the night, because we all have to do what we have to do, right? Especially those of you that are still hanging on to full-time jobs that you, in fact, still enjoy and that are fairly lucrative, and you're not really willing to quit, at least not right away, just for a voiceover career. But for me, it works really well. I'm fresh in the morning, I'm motivated, and then by about 2 or 3 o'clock, my brain starts to fizzle. It's just, I can't. And then doing work at night, that just doesn't work really well for me. I mean, if I had a client who insisted on doing a live directed session at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, obviously I'm not going to turn down the gig, right? But all right, number 9. Stay organized, even if it means doing it the old school way. Yes, the old school way really works. A dry erase board hung up in your studio so you can just glance at it and you can know when that client deadline is. Or maybe you mark down a date where you're going to follow up with a talent agent. And remember, don't make it a day or two after you just submitted the demo. Give it at least 3 to 4 weeks. A lot of talents I know in the voiceover business love that old school way of keeping like a paper calendar or a dry erase board. Yep, there's all kinds of fancy management systems online with FreshBooks, Square, Google. I mean, the list just goes on, and they're great programs. Some of them can be a little overwhelming, kind of like recording software. Most of them are user friendly, but there's a lot of plugins and a lot of options. Not a lot of options on a dry erase board. So I guess I'm just a little more old school that way. Whatever it takes to keep you as organized as possible. Now let's get back to cold calling, number 10. If you're cold calling, and you should be, speak with confidence and come up with some great ideas on how you can help the client move a product or improve their business. What they don't want to hear is somebody sit there and brag about themselves for 20 minutes on the phone call, or making the call all about us. And yes, we're trying to sell our services, but that doesn't mean that we should just, hand this potential VO buyer a bunch of gibberish for 15 minutes. Ask them questions about their product or their business. Start the conversation, start the dialogue. Let them know that, hey, I've got a couple of great ideas on how my voice can help improve your business or move the product. That is the objective of the phone call. And it's about building rapport. It's about earning trust. And nobody wants to hear a motor mouth brag about themselves for 20 or 30 minutes, or, they're not really interested in hearing the history of your voiceover career. Keep it brief, keep it friendly, and get to the point and ask the right questions. God, I burned through those way too fast, but just some helpful tips, especially for those of you who have been kind of on the fence for a while and you're thinking about getting into voiceovers. Hopefully these points are very helpful. If you're kind of at the point where you've done a little research and you're ready to take the next step and start working, with a group of reputable coaches, I'm in my 30th year. The rest of the coaches on my staff have a minimum of 15 years of experience. So if you're interested in hearing more about us and how we help new talents, send me an email, terry@universalvoicetalent.com. That's TERRY@universalvoicetalent.com. Send the email. We'll start a dialogue and we'll talk about, maybe a program or two that would be the right fit for you. That's it for me. Happy holidays to you and your family. Such a crazy year with the pandemic, I know. Cheers to a better next year and 2021. And I will talk to you all very, very soon. Take care, everybody.